Mm. Miss them so much.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Christopher. Hi, Olivia. So just introduce myself. So my name is Natalie, and I'm part of the student support team here in the international office in University College Cork. So today we're being joined by Olivia, and Olivia is the Vice Consul at the US Embassy in Dublin. So she works for the American Citizen Services, and she caters to US citizens who are either visiting or living in Ireland. And she's going to take you through what services they offer. She's also going to speak about their pop-up or their satellite office that will be coming to Cork on the 13th of September. Now, you do need to make an appointment for that day, and they will be booking up pretty rapidly, but Olivia will take you through everything. So I'm going to just pass you over to Olivia and thank her again so much for her time today.
I think you may be on mute, Olivia. I'm not getting any sound from you.
I might just send her a quick message on Teams just to see if everything is okay, or if she wants to maybe share the presentation with me and I can run it in the background. Oh, there you are, Olivia. Hi, Olivia. Thank you for joining us. You're on mute. Still can't hear you, I'm afraid. So just while Olivia is getting set up, just to ask everybody just to, if you have questions, pop them into the chat, and I'll be able to monitor them. And you can put your hand up as well at the end once Olivia has finished her presentation. We're also joined by Christopher Brown, so he's our director of the international office. So yeah, just to kind of point out a couple of people.
We really appreciate you taking the time to do this with us and help walk us through some of these things. It's really very helpful. So thank you in advance.
Yeah. Because we get a lot of these questions in terms of, how do I travel across Europe if my visa or my passport is out of date within the next 6 months. So this is really helpful for us as well. Oops, I'm on mute. Do we have any students already here by any chance? Because we have a group of about 63 students coming in this week, and we have our first orientation starting on Friday in person. So I'm just wondering if any of you are among those students. So we have our orientation obviously in person, but we have some lovely welcome events lined up for the weekend too. and they're all on our website. I just published them recently. I might just include the link in the chat for you. Oh, great. Is it Walker or Selby? Sorry. Walker. Perfect. So Walker is here. We have somebody else arriving on the 4th. Oh, great. So if you don't know each other, make sure to link up. We'll be seeing you anyway in person on Friday. Like I said, we'll kick off at 9:20 in Bool 1. You would have got the schedule already. Flying in the morning of the 28th, lovely. And just to confirm, we don't have any students who are not from the US, because this could be confusing if you are not a US passport holder. Because obviously the embassy can only help US citizens, just to clarify. Lillian, student here too, arriving the 31st. Very good. So I think Olivia might be trying to exit and dial in again. So if we can just give her a few minutes. Mackenzie arriving on September 4th. Lovely. To call an option, I call for the audio. Now we're here, but I did not receive the email about the schedule. Is there a way to get that information? You should have got an email from Karen McSweeney, Chris. If you didn't, send me an email and I'll follow up for you, okay? Here's my email address. Olivia, I don't know how to add a call-in option. I think you might just have to exit and re-enter unless somebody here knows how to do that. Add in a call-in option. Great. In the edit screen, scroll down to audio options, toggling the call-in option. Okay. So let me just go back to what it said there. In the edit screen. Sorry, no, everybody. I'm just trying to see if I can dial her in. In the edit screen, scroll down to the audio options section, toggle on the call-in option. Olivia, can you just try Ed are coming out of the meeting and going back in? Because we could see you.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Oh, great. Yep.
Finally. So sorry about that. I'm not sure what was going on. It could just be that this
Problem.
computer hasn't been logged into for a bit. But anyways, I'll jump right in. I was just saying before that I'll go through some slides quickly just to provide some general information. And then what I find is usually most helpful for the students is to just open it up to questions after that. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen.
I can see your screen now, Olivia.
Okay, so thank you, Natalie, for introducing me. I'm the Vice Consul here at US Embassy Dublin. It just means I'm a US diplomat currently stationed in Dublin, and I'm working in the American Citizen Services section. And you can find the US Embassy in the neighborhood called Ballsbridge. There's a bus stop right out front. It's an iconic kind of circular building. You can't miss it, right on the corner of Elgin Road. It's on Google Maps as well if you just put in US Embassy Dublin. And I'm going to go over just generally what kind of services the US Embassy provides for American citizens in Ireland. So we can help you to renew your passport if it's about to expire or if it has expired. We can also issue you an emergency passport if you lose your passport and need to travel quickly back to the US. We can help with voting while you're in Ireland. And we have some important elections coming up, so very glad to talk to you about those things. We can provide notary services. That's less common usually for student groups, but could be for things like buying property, buying a car, anything you might need a notary for. And we can also issue a consular report of birth abroad. Again, not something we typically provide for student groups, but just for your general information, if you had a birth while here, you could register the child as a US citizen. So if you lose your passport, we always suggest that people first try to find it themselves. Often they do turn up, especially in Dublin. People report them lost to Garda often. So check with the Garda station, see if somebody picked it up and turned it in. If you can't find it, then you just go online to the US Embassy website. The address is right there, ie.usembassy.gov. And you can make an appointment. The appointments are open for as soon as 1 to 2 days ahead, so you should be able to get in quickly. And then we can issue you either a full validity passport, which takes around 2 weeks to come back, or if you have emergency or urgent travel, say you need to get back home within the same week or the next day, then we can offer a limited validity, what we call an emergency passport. And if you have any questions about which passport is appropriate for me or any questions about travel, you can email us at ACS, that stands for American Citizen Services, dublin@state.gov. So if you're arrested, we can't get you out of jail, but we can help with things like providing a list of lawyers. We can visit you in jail to ensure that you're receiving appropriate treatment. With your consent, we can notify a friend or a family member and get you the support that you need. Similarly, if you're a victim of a crime, we encourage people to report any crime they've experienced to the Garda. And you're welcome to also come to the embassy to get support for things like we can direct you to local resources here, such as the Tourist Assistance Service. We can direct you to local attorneys. We can speak to friends or family on your behalf if you need to get in contact with people, provide you with kind of general support in of that nature. So we can also help you with registering to vote or for sending in your absentee ballot. I'd recommend that everybody register as soon as possible. The earlier, the better. And if you have questions about how to mail in your absentee ballot or registering, again, you can also contact us at our email address, acsdublin. So some common misunderstandings about what we can't do. We don't provide any kind of services that are related to Irish immigration. So this is a big one, especially for students. We don't have any involvement in your student visa, say, to stay in Ireland, or any kind of immigration services that relate to your being present in Ireland. We also, as I mentioned before, can't bail you out of jail. And we don't offer kind of bank services. So we don't cash checks, we don't issue marriage licenses, those kinds of things. So the U.S. Embassy website has a lot of general resources, including emergency information, any kind of announcements to U.S. citizens visiting or residing in Ireland. The website is ie.usembassy.gov. And where you'll want to go for specifically for passport services, on your right-hand side, you'll see a link for U.S. passports and U.S. citizen services. So if you click there, it will take you to all of the steps that you need to make an appointment for a U.S. passport. But in addition to that, you can also just find any kind of alerts for U.S. citizens, any kind of information you might need to know. It could even be about extreme weather or about travel delays, anything that could be pertinent for U.S. citizens in Ireland. And whether you're in Ireland or traveling anywhere in the world, the State Department encourages people, U.S. citizens traveling abroad, to register in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, or STEP. And by registering, it allows you to receive real-time email or phone text updates about anything that's going on in that country. So travel alerts and warnings, general information about the country, things like what kind of visa you need, vaccination requirements or suggestions. It's a good idea if you're traveling, no matter where you are. You can also find us on social media. So there's an Instagram page, US Embassy Dublin, Facebook and Twitter. And that's just another space where the embassy shares information with US citizens, but not just of emergency alerts, but also fun or interesting things that the embassy is engaged in the country. And travel.state.gov is your one-stop resource for all things international travel as a US citizen. So here you could find information, say you're traveling within Europe and you want to find out information about a specific country, you can go to travel.state.gov, find any country in the world you're interested in visiting, and they'll provide you general information, again, about things like visas, vaccines, any kind of relevant travel tips. So some general advice for while you're traveling in Ireland. The Irish Tourist Assistance Service is a really great organization that can help out folks that may have been a victim of a crime. So whether that is a violent crime or a theft, they can help you to get the resources you need to get help. They can even, in some instances, help to bring your family members here should you need that. And overall, we ask students to please call your parents because if not, they call us and they want to know you're okay. And so that goes a long way just to reducing any kind of worries back home. We also recommend that you don't use your passport as your form of ID when you're going out at night. It's really easy to lose it or for it to get stolen. So try to use like a student ID or a passport card if you have one, or driver's license even works fine here. Check your passport's validity. So you should renew it now if you have less than 6 months left, or if you're getting down to your last pages. Always make sure a friend or a relative has a copy of your passport. It's also handy to keep a photo of your passport in your phone. Register for STEP, register to vote, and overall have a great time in Ireland. And here's again our contact information. I've shared this PowerPoint presentation with Natalie, so you'll have access to all of this if you didn't get it down now. And now I'm going to close the slideshow and just take it over to questions.
So does anybody have any questions for Olivia? Olivia, did you mention the 13th of September?
No, but I'm happy to. You've pretty much covered it. On the 13th of September in Cork, some of my colleagues will be in town for one day, providing any kind of American citizen services, so passport renewals and things of that nature. If you go to our website, you'll find the exact address where they'll be, and you can also make an appointment.
That's perfect, because it'll save a lot of students going all the way up to Dublin, which can be difficult when they've got classes to negotiate and things like that.
Sure. Yeah, I would say appointments can be made in the afternoon and the morning in Dublin. So we have a lot of people come from all over the country, and we try to get people in and out pretty quickly. So hopefully, if you do have to come to Dublin, it won't be too harrowing of an experience.
So does anybody have any questions that they'd like to raise their hand or pop into the chat? Olivia, did I read about something that is coming in soon for a lot of the European countries for non-EU students, that they need to get like a travel pass or something? They need some sort of a pass in order to enter the country. I know Italy is on the list, and Spain and France. I saw it somewhere, but I'm not too kind of au fait with it. Let me just check my Facebook group and I'll just share the information, but I don't know a whole lot about it. But I know that's coming in and it might impact the US students. I'll just check there now. One sec.
We've not heard anything to that effect here, but again, that's an EU or third country immigration question. So
Okay.
while
Yeah.
I would suggest that students go to travel.state.gov, and that information would be there for any country you wish to visit. So if Italy is on that list, for example, you could go and check Italy and see if any kind of special pass is needed. I mean, to my knowledge, there's no visa requirement at all for any country in the EU for US passport holders. But yeah, it's always good before you travel to check the website and just, make sure everything's in order.
Yeah, so it might not pertain at all to US citizens, but it's worth a check. It's a new EU travel permit, which you'll soon need to enter Spain, Italy, France, and other countries, but it doesn't say who you is. So I don't know. They can look that up themselves there anyway. So are there any questions? Because Olivia now is the expert, because I know all the questions will come to me about my passport is running out and I need to get this and that, and it's just not really my specialty. It does apply to US citizens starting in 2024. Thank you, Emily. I did think I heard something about it, but there wasn't a whole lot more. So you'll have to investigate that yourself, because as Olivia said, it's an immigration issue, and it's not part of their remit, and it isn't part of ours either, but it is going to impact you. So make sure you investigate that a bit further. Are there any questions, any comments?
And just to clarify, I just did a quick search, and I think what this is referring to is an automated system that's probably similar to the ESTA. So like, for example, an Irish citizen visiting the United States doesn't need to go into the US Embassy in most cases and apply to have a physical visa put into their passport, but they go online and they fill out something called an electronic system travel authorization, or an ESTA, ESTA. And it takes a matter of 10 minutes to fill out a questionnaire. You pay, I think, $4 or $5, and then you have an electronic permit. So I believe some European countries are rolling that out for US citizens over the next year or so. But to my knowledge, again, this is a great example of why checking travel.state.gov is a good idea before you plan any overseas trips. But it would just be an online, kind of like an electronic permit.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I just want to respond to Jack's message there. So he just mentioned earlier on that he's not able to attend orientation. So what I was saying was we can't provide individual orientations. Your orientation is mandatory. It covers information that's specific to international students, so things like visa and immigration, working permissions, things like that. So if you can't attend, then you'll have to find out the information yourselves. Because there are 4,000 international students and we can't orientate everyone individually. So I've sent out 3 countdown emails. There's a lot of information there in those emails. We have a really good website. Everything is up to date. and I've done, this would be maybe our 5th or 6th workshop, and they're all accessible as well, the recordings on our Facebook page. So I suppose what I'm saying is, please, prepare yourself that we will be overwhelmed and we can't answer a myriad of questions if you were unable to attend your orientation. It's not possible. We don't have capacity. Sorry, that's a bit off topic, but I just wanted to respond. Okay, so look, rather than holding Olivia up, I'm sure she's really busy. If no one has any questions or comments, we will wrap up. And like Olivia said, I'll make sure to upload the presentation into the chat. Sorry, it'll go into the file upload within the body of this chat. And are your contact details in there, Olivia, in case they have any questions? Oh, you're on mute.
The ACS Dublin email address is in the presentation. So any questions related to their passports or any US citizen services can be directed there.
That's perfect. So I'll do that shortly, and then the recording will be made available as well, just in case anybody missed anything. Perfect. So look, there doesn't seem to be any questions or comments. Olivia, thank you so much for your time. We're really grateful, because I know I wasn't really all that familiar with what the consular service did besides visa queries. Christopher, do you have any comment to make or anything?
No, just again to echo your thanks, Olivia, and this is all about helping students to know where they can go to help themselves. We'll do all we can to help you, but a number of things are outside of the university's control, and this is where the embassy has the lead on citizen services. So now you know how to do that, and that just is a good precaution. So thank you.
It's my pleasure. And please do reach out with any kind of question, big or small. We try to respond to all inquiries, and hope to see some of you in Cork.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Hein?